Hey everyone, Kevin here. I briefly mentioned in a recent episode about yet another topic that has been resulting in teacher attrition and burnout lately, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. The belief that teachers are indoctrinating students, a notion that is patently false. It has become kind of sickening, actually, that this narrative continues to be pushed by so many parents, politicians, and others out there who are ironically promoting their own agendas by doing so. Why do you think book bannings, standardized curriculums, and the toxic levels of accountability heaped onto teachers exist in the first place? It's because many parents and those with actual political capital want more control over the public school system to stimulate their own ideas. If anyone is doing the indoctrinating, it's administrators and politicians, not teachers. But before I go down a rabbit hole, what does indoctrination even mean? Well, basically, it is teaching a person or group of people to accept a set of beliefs at face value. Indoctrination doesn't allow for individual thought, and kids are expected to accept and repeat information without question. Now, knowing that definition, does that sound like our public school system? No, it doesn't. In virtually every single classroom, educators work tirelessly to get students to critically think and to form their own opinions about the world around them. We have discussions about material. We don't enforce material onto students. If anything, teachers are the ones being indoctrinated these days with how much we have to just accept whatever we're told to do without question. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is one of the few in power who seems to get this. Because a little while ago, he said the idea that every school district, state, and every teacher is somehow indoctrinating people is just false. Teachers in this country, the vast majority of them, care about those kids. They're working in low paying jobs, and they're fighting for those kids and their families. Well said. I give you a round of applause for saying that, Governor Burgum. Really, thank you. Oh, and you know where he said that too? At a presidential debate where other candidates were saying things like critical race theory and gender ideology is destroying our schools, and the wokeness teachers give our kids is making them think that they're girls when they're really boys, which is all just moronic. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, on the other hand, said, "We need transparency in the classroom because parents should never have to wonder what's being said or taught to their children in the classroom." I can't believe how often I have to say this. No, we don't. Teachers aren't indoctrinating your kids, and we don't need more accountability or transparency in the classroom. We need less. You know what I see instead? A system more preoccupied with pushing and deprofessionalizing educators into some kind of punishing attitude than giving them the tools to succeed in teaching your children. How could we possibly indoctrinate them anyway? They don't listen to us or treat us with respect anymore to begin with. Kids these days are increasingly violent and given no repercussions for it. They've reached a new plane of existence when it comes to thinking that they know it all due to having access to the internet. We also have parents who often try to find ways to coddle their kids and have educators parent their child for them. And they straight up ignore teachers when we ask for their help teaching their child. Oh, yeah. And it's kind of hard to indoctrinate your kids when they are beating the crap out of us. We are running into walls trying to teach kids these days because of all of that. And as a result, aren't getting anything done. Governor Haley said in the same debate that kids aren't reading anymore, and we need to get them to. And you know what? You're right. Maybe that starts at home and not with the teacher. Hmm. At least that's how I was raised, and I think I ended up much better off for it, huh? I was able to critically think and know more about the world around me because of all that reading my mother made me do, not the school. Sure, I have run into some teachers who spout their political beliefs in class, which I genuinely advise them not to do. Even one of my master teachers during student teaching did that, and it was partly why we didn't get along all that well. But those instances were in the minority and mostly in college, not at the primary or secondary grades. We don't force students to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't force students to be male, female, or transgender. We don't force students to pray or worship a god in class. We don't force students to believe in critical race theory or anything else for that matter. We don't even have time to go to the bathroom the entire workday. So, do you really think we have the time to indoctrinate students? I mean, come on. Teachers encourage students to think for themselves and grow into productive future citizens. Creating good citizens is the closest possible thing you could claim 99% of teachers do to indoctrinate your kids. Just stop believing the politically charged nonsense that we are trying to create little revolutionaries or something. That narrative is burning out teachers and causing us to be seen in such an unfair light. We're tired of trying to please everyone and make them happy. And you never can please anyone anyway, which isn't even the point of education. The point of education is to educate. It's kind of in the name, not indoctrinate. We're not forming a 21st century Hitler Youth here. We're just trying to do right by your kids. Teaching has become an overly political profession, even more than it used to be, and it's suffocated us. So, if you are one such teacher who is tired of this treatment and looking for a way to make your exit, I'm always here to help. See you next time.